So I'm gonna head over there right now and try to get at least the door and maybe some of the plastic bits and pieces that I'm missing. As you know, I got a new car. I'm pretty stoked about it. Here it is. Welcome back to another episode of Bro Premier, guys. If you are new to the channel, we've been working on my 2005 Hyundai Tucson. It has 136,000 miles. I picked it up for 700 bucks, and I got it that cheap just simply because, well, it's really ugly. Needs basically a whole clear coat again. There's some body damage, kind of all over the place, little pieces. But mostly, what we found in the last episode is that the guy tried to replace the head gasket and put it back together at a time. He then also put the head gasket in wrong, so I now realize that I have to do the head gasket and the timing belt, and I'm gonna order a new timing chain as well. In fact, I ordered all those parts. They're on their way here. I know a lot of you guys in the last video told me just junk this thing. I get it. I get just trying to get rid of it quick, but I really am trying to desensitize my nerves to engine problems, whether that's a blown rod, a block, it needs a new engine. It's gonna take me about the same amount of time to put an engine into this thing as it would to rebuild the top end. And I really don't have to rebuild it much. It's mostly just the head gasket and then timing everything correctly. Instead of trying to risk putting this thing up on ramps, taking the engine out in this great space that I have to do that work, finding a place to store the old engine, finding a place to put the new engine until I put it in there, and then still risking that the engine I buy from the junkyard is just as crappy as this one, I decided I'm gonna try to fix this one. It's gonna probably take an extra day's worth of work compared to the other process. I've never done an engine pull or swap, so I imagine that would take me 2 to 3 days as it is, just because I have no idea what it's like. I've seen plenty of videos, but still, when you actually get down to doing the dirty, it's always hard the first time. With that said, I have all those parts coming. They should be here, I think, by next week, so we're probably gonna start that next week. I think I mentioned to you guys that it's really hard to find parts for this car. I've been searching all over the junkyards. There's only one in LA in the pick and pulls, or like the go pick your parts yourself type of junkyards. I did find a door, but it is down towards the border, so I don't know when I'm gonna be able to get that. But right now, I have been trying to get a second car. I haven't really told you guys, I was just kind of trying on the side, and it was delisted, now it's relisted. The guy just texted me out of nowhere, hey, it's available, and I said, I'll come right now. And he said, okay, come get it. So that's where we're going right now. I'm gonna head down, we're gonna check out a car. I think it's gonna be worth it. He wants 3,900 bucks. I'm gonna try to get him down to like 3. It needs a couple things that I can see. It already needs a door handle. It has a little bit of body damage, not bad. It's more just like paint on scuffs. You can probably take most of it off just by wet sanding it, but it has clean interior. I think it has like 90,000 miles. It looks like a sharp car. So anyway, so that's where we're gonna head right now, check it out and see what we think. See you in a bit. All right, guys, I bought the car. The car is definitely not what I thought I was getting, so I got it for a lot less money. It is definitely going to need some work. I thought it was going to be like almost running, driving perfect, like a quick job. Unfortunately, it's not that. I got there. I think the guy was trying to be good, trying to be honest, but all said and done, it needed some work. So anyway, I'm gonna go over that, but right now, I've actually lucked out because I just called the junkyard that might have the door for the Tucson. So they said if I head over now, it'd be ready. So I'm gonna head over there right now and try to get at least the door and maybe some of the plastic bits and pieces that I'm missing. So anyway, I'm gonna head over there. Talk to you in a bit. All right, guys, we're back from the junkyard. I was able to get some of the parts. Some of the plastic pieces I think are colored a little different. It's kind of a long wait, kind of just sat there for like 30 minutes till the guy came back from lunch. Then we had to go to a secondary junkyard that they had to get the parts, and is what it is. Anyway, I ended up getting the door and yeah, just a bunch of little plastics. Like I was able to get this one right here, so I'm glad that really completes the outside look once this thing's painted. That would have been a big eyesore. I was able to get probably these little plastic covers for the seat belts in the back, and really I think that was it. I want to get this little handle cover, which I'm gonna have to try to search for someone else to have, but I really need that to complete the look of the car. But anyway, I got it all back. As you can see, I stuffed it in my trunk. So yeah, I'm gonna get the door out and then I'm gonna try to install it quick because the missus will be home probably in about 2 hours, and then we can head back and pick up the new car. I'm really stoked. Once I get it back here, then I'll kind of go over the whole situation, all the numbers, everything that happened, and why I think it's still gonna be a good deal. So anyway, I'm gonna get started and I'll see you in a few. All right guys, change of plans. I just realized if I'm going to install that door on this car, I'm gonna need to paint it, obviously, but I forgot I have to paint the inside. So there's no point for me to start installing this thing because I'm going to have to paint the door jambs and the inside of the door panel just to match a little better. So all of this stuff is gonna need to be painted, along with, of course, the door jambs. This back plate, I'll probably throw a quick coat on just to make it look more stock. So yeah, it doesn't make sense for me to install this thing right now. I'd love to have a normal door handle on that thing. Oh wow, it's black door handle as well. Perfect. I thought these were all colored door handles. Oh, cool. They're all black, sweet. So I don't have to paint the door handles. I thought I was gonna have to paint that one to match the car, but I don't now. Awesome. So anyway, what I do think I'm gonna do is start taking this thing apart for the paint. So I'll probably take the window out, probably this whole little section here, take out the speaker, take all the rubber pieces off, try to save all the clips, and I might take off the actual door mounting brackets. I don't know yet. I'm thinking it would be easier for me to put the door on from this way, meaning the bolts going into the door than the bolts behind the actual fender, which would be these holes right here. I don't know, I might take them off, but for now, I'm definitely going to take off the mirror, take off the rubber, any type of plastic housing that I am gonna have to worry about later. So that's the goal. Let's get at it. All right guys, I took everything that I could off that door, everything except the wires. Doesn't make sense, I'm gonna need them in there anyway. But everything's off, and you're probably wondering, why did I take off so much stuff? What a waste of time. Yes and no, I'm trying to lighten the door a little bit so I can move it around. It's pretty heavy, I would say probably 80, 90 pounds. It's a pretty heavy door. So it's just trying to lighten up some of the weight. Also, some of the things aren't gonna work. I'm gonna need them off the old door. So it just doesn't make sense. I might as well just take them all off now, make the paint job a lot easier, a lot less masking, all that crud. So feel a lot better. But anyway, it's all wrapped up. I was able to fit the thing in the back of the Hyundai, like kind of perfectly. All the parts are kind of all over. I'm gonna see if anything's of value, especially in California, just because it was so hard for me to find those parts. I wonder if anything used will be worth some money online. Really funky car, really weird. This was the first one I just wasn't able to find anything on, like at all. It's kind of crazy. Anyway, so that is all done, and the missus is leaving work right now. So she's coming here to pick me up, and we're gonna go get the new car. So I'm super excited, but first what I wanna do, I want to clean up everything here. So I'm going to pack all this stuff up quick. This way I'm ready when she gets here and we can roll down and pick that thing up. So that's the plan. See you guys in a few. All right, guys, it's the next day. Got a little late trying to get the car home last night, so I ended up just waiting till this morning. Anyway, as you know, I got a new car. I'm pretty stoked about it. Here it is. So this is my new 2011 Kia Forte, and it has 96,000 miles, or actually 94,000 miles. The guy was asking $3,900 and I ended up getting him down to $1,700. Now, I didn't beat him up. I know it sounds like I did, but honestly the car has more wrong with it than what was kind of advertised. He dressed it up nice. It looks sharp. As you can see, it's a pretty clean car. It definitely could use some cleanup work, like these scuffs. These might even be new. I don't know if they were there when I went to check out the car. Now I'm freaking out ever since the missus hit and run. It has some things I need to clean up, make it look pretty, but overall, I mean, it's not like any of the other cars. The paint is pretty good overall. There's a few spots, clear coat, looks like to be burning through. Probably have to touch that up. Not too bad though, but I do like how clean it is. This is gonna be a lot less work. Now, for the interior, it's even better. This thing is clean and it smells like it's been freshly cleaned too. I like it. I'm really happy with the interior. There's literally like no work to do on this thing. Actually, you know what? There was a little stain on the driver's seat. I'll probably shampoo that out. Oh, looks like there's a couple little stains here. I might mess with this. Just the front seats I'll take out. But overall, I mean, it is a good little ride. They definitely did the quick little, take it to a little detailer and they throw a bunch of stuff on it. Because I can see some of the separation here. So there's like a nice oily and then it's dry up here and it's still dirty. Little spots that are just missing, but overall, it's pretty dang clean. I'm pretty impressed with it. This is kind of how I would sell my cars, just slightly better. And I just saw down here, the wheel well is partly missing. You can see it's been rubbed out or broken out. So there definitely was some front end damage. And that was kind of what made me bargain with him. Just a lot of little things that weren't seen in the photos, like clear coat chipping. Someone redid the headlights already and the clear coat's chipping off of that. Looks like they put one thin layer on there, just left it instead of throwing 2 or 3 to make it actually work. And then the other thing, and I don't know if you guys can see it in the camera, but this is a clean title. And if you look here, there's 2 different colors. So it's the same color, but this is fresh painted. That fender is really fresh painted, and this is dull, and that's dull. So an accident happened here for sure, and this was resprayed. I don't know about the hood. I think the hood is still the original paint, but that front bumper, you can obviously see there's 2 different colors as well. This is more dull, a little uglier. This was probably even a second accident after this one, just because this paint looks like crud. This actually looks pretty OEM. So there's been some damage to the car, but it's, I mean, at this price range, it's kind of to be expected. Another bummer is this door handle. It doesn't actually work. It's completely busted off. So to get in, you have to go in through the back door, reach up, try to hold the front door open, which is real fun. Hold on. Ugh. All right. But then the rest of the car is still pretty sharp. Like, it's good. There's really not that much work. Oh, wow, I never saw this. This is brand new to me. Shoot. I wonder why I missed that. All right, I'm gonna try to get this back together somehow. I don't know how I'm gonna do that. What a weird spot for a hole. Huh, anyway, but the main reason I got this thing so cheap is because it's got some issues. Let's see if you can hear it. So I don't know if you can hear that. So another way that I know there was also some front end damage is it's really hard to open up the hood. So this hood has been realigned. So it probably is a new hood or maybe off another OEM car. They just switched it, got lucky in the junkyard. But it's really hard to open that hood. It should open fairly easy and it doesn't. But if you can hear that light little tick, there's a bunch of codes for this thing having off timing. And if you look, someone came in here with a little cob job and put all kinds of weird little sealants on it, trying to do something. So I kind of called him out on it. I don't think it was him. I think maybe it was Buddy. Maybe it was him, and he's a flipper. Seemed like a decent guy. I don't know. Either way, I told him there's no way, like, this thing will either need an engine soon, or I might get lucky with a timing chain and a new tensioner, and hopefully that fixes it. But regardless, like, it was just such a gamble to buy this car with 9 codes on it, and just you just don't know. I could have blown the engine on the way here. I could have thrown a rod. I got lucky it's here. I got lucky that's running right now. In fact, I want to kind of turn it off. I don't want to mess with it too much, but that is the main reason why I got a $4,000 car for $1,700. I almost got it for $15,000, but I figured $200 difference. It is what it is. So I basically have to do the same thing I'm about to do in the Tucson with a car that's far prettier and cost me another $1,000. It's not bad. It's really not bad. I really don't have to do much to this thing. Maybe a good buff on some of the scuffs, get some of the paint off. But other than that, it's a pretty clean car. So yeah, if you see, there's little paint scuffs everywhere, and some of them are into the paint and some of them are on top of the paint. So just like the Mrs. car in the last episode, a lot of them are like that paint that I rubbed right off, but a few of them definitely are not. So it's gonna need little stuff. This one's got some long ones. I don't know if you can see them in the paint, but they come all the way up here. And they're kind of deeper here, and probably a little bit back here. So they definitely took it to a quick detail shop, trying to make it look real pretty. The tires are all shined. Usually when I see shined tires, that's a clear sign to me that something's being hidden. Some guys in the comments have mentioned, why don't you clean your tires? To me, that's always a sign that something bad happened. Anyway, he zip tied on the hubcaps because he said they were falling off, so maybe that was the one that fell off, and then he thought he'd zip tie them on. I'm probably gonna get different ones anyway. They're like 25 bucks at the junkyard, brand new, so I might as well. But yeah guys, overall, this is the main problem. I have to fix the timing. It looks like this is the timing cover right here. So I'm gonna try to fix the timing, which I think really is probably just one tooth slipped. The chain expanded a little bit. It's got 96,000 miles. I'm looking at the rest of the car. I'm guessing they did not keep up with basic maintenance stuff like the timing chain at 80,000 miles or 60,000 miles. Whenever you're supposed to do them in these Kias, I don't know. But generally, when you buy a new car, they recommend the first timing chain within 60 to 80,000. Some will go up to 120,000 back in the day, but I'm betting they didn't, and I'm betting they probably beat on this car because it's not a very powerful car. It's an economic car. It's called Eco Boost, which I'm curious if there's actually a turbo to this thing. But I highly doubt that there is any type of turbo to this thing. But right now, I think my goal for this car is just gonna order that timing chain, new tensioner, see if there's any other parts. And luckily, I still have that giant manual file that I did for the first Kia, for the first flip I did on this channel. So I just kind of mentioned to you guys about the Hyundai and how I get all the years up until 2012. I got something similar for that for the Kias, which basically they're the same car, but they do sell as separate manuals. But I do have that for the Kias, and I believe it goes up to 16 or 14. So I think I already have the manual for this thing, which is awesome. I'm gonna kind of go deep dive into that, kind of see what all this needs. The other thing is I might have something different planned for this vehicle. I'm not sure I'm gonna tell you guys yet, but I think it's gonna be pretty cool. I think it's gonna be pretty exciting. Definitely is gonna be for me. I hope it is for you guys, but I'll probably tell you in a future episode. Maybe when I get this thing finished, I'll explain my whole goal. But so far, we're about 1,700 bucks in. I imagine it won't be more than like 200 bucks extra in parts, but we'll see if I can save this engine. Just as you guys are probably screaming in the comments, change the engine, change the engine. I might, but first I always wanna try if I can fix it first. Just for the pure fact of learning. Like, I've done one head gasket in my life. I was on the Audi, it worked out good. But there's like that weird feeling in my head, like, did I get a little lucky? Was that beginner's luck type of thing? I don't wanna have that feeling. I wanna be very desensitized when it comes to ripping an engine apart. Even if this engine blows up, even if the Tucson engine blows up right after I put in all the parts, I'll go buy another engine for 300 bucks from the junkyard, put it in, I'm 500 bucks out, and I learned a lot. That's my goal. And I'm sorry, I think this is a little bit of a short episode. I kind of planned to do a lot more on the Tucson, and then things just kind of turned, and I got lucky to find this car. And when the guy said it was available, I just moved and ran out of time. So anyway, I do think that is going to wrap up this episode of Broke Premiere. In the next episode, I have the parts coming for the Tucson. Most of them should be here by Monday or Tuesday. A couple of them are going to be coming later in the week, so I might be able to start doing the timing chain. I'm not sure what parts are coming and what aren't. So we'll have to see. But I'm definitely gonna be starting on the Tucson. In the meantime, I will be ordering a new timing chain for this thing, along with probably new tensioner and any other parts it might need in there. I'm definitely going to buy a gasket set. And then if there's anything else that the manual recommends I replace, whether that's, I don't know, torque bolts of any kind. I don't think there will be any, maybe one on the tensioner, maybe a couple on the camshafts if I have to actually remove them. I don't think I'll have to touch them. But we're gonna double check everything, make sure this isn't like the timing chain back here with the timing chain up here like I have on the Tucson and I had on the Audi. So we're gonna double check to make sure there isn't a variable valve timing in here, secondary chain. So anyway guys, I think that is going to wrap up this episode of Bro Premier. So I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week and I'll catch you again on Thursday. Later guys.